Hi, I'm Joel Gelzo, the director of Project Volare.
Rolling. Action.
Here's just some tips that I've learned through the years of working on projects, and some of what I'll be talking about mostly pertains to short form filmmaking. So it could be just a couple days worth of filming, something that needs to be turned around in a very short period of time. So one of my first tips I would say would be know your script backwards and forwards. Really take a lot of time to understand exactly everything that's going on as much as possible. Anything that I work on, I read that script over and over and over and over and over again, and then read it again. When you're filming something or when you're directing something, you know exactly the scene that happens right after this, and then you also know the scene that happens right before it. The more you know about the script, you're going to be able to have a film that's more cohesive. You're going to have a crew that's going to be working better together because they're going to understand what's happening. And your scenes are going to transition and flow together much better than if you were just going to be working off one page at a time and always going, what was that next line, or what happens next? But if you know that already, you're going to be directing the actors because you know a specific thing has to happen in the next 2 seconds in the film potentially. But if you don't know that, you might not direct that scene knowing that element is coming up next. Another thing that really helps me out that I've been doing is I pre-mentally direct the film. I pre-mentally go through what it looks like, what I'm hoping to achieve. So what I usually do is I close my eyes, and several days beforehand I just spend hours just kind of thinking through shots and mentally going through each scene. What does it look like? How can I shoot it? What's the best way to shoot it? Because in a way, using your mind, you can create anything you want. So I kind of use that element, I almost create a 3D space, and I just literally carefully plan out where shots could be, where people could be moving, where the blocking is. And I do that a lot before I shoot something, so that when I'm on the day, when I'm getting ready to shoot, specifically if it's going to be something that's going to be a fast turnaround. And again, most short film stuff and lower budget projects, when you have other jobs, it is going to be a short-term and fast project because you just don't have the money to spend weeks doing it. But I think it works for that as well, but just you know what you're going to be doing, you've kind of already done it already. So I think that's really helpful, and that's something I've been doing for a long time, and I think it's really, really helpful. Whatever your skill level is for filmmaking is always prepare for something going wrong. Or not even necessarily wrong, but just something not working out correctly. And for an example, it's you have a vision of what you want to do, but then when you get on set and then you realize, oh, this shot physically can't be done in the time we need to do it because of location problems or because of an actor just not even being tall enough, or like it could be the craziest thing that you just will not even think of, that all of a sudden you show up on set and go, oh, okay, we can't do this. Always have a way out. Always be thinking ahead of what you could do to plan for that. So just know in advance that something will go wrong, and just plan ahead for that, and just know that when that arises, try to have another strategy to get around that, to solve it. There's always going to be some little problems that you're not going to anticipate. So just learn to anticipate the problems, and don't always see them as bad, but sometimes they can actually turn out to be really good. But just know they're gonna happen, so just learn you're gonna have to deal with it, and you're gonna have to solve problems and figure it out on the way. So just, if you're already mentally preparing to know that there's gonna be problems, you're gonna have a better time on set when you're shooting with people, knowing, okay, I figured something like this would happen, let's figure a way around it, and then let's continue. As a director, when you're working on a set, and you're working with actors and lots of different pieces moving together at once, always have an answer for things. People are always going to be asking you questions about what's happening next, what should I do, how should the clothing look, how should the costumes be, am I wearing the right thing, am I holding the cigarette up here, am I holding the gun here, am I yelling really loud here, do I need to bring back a tone? People are always going to be asking you questions, so always know that you need to have an answer. It doesn't mean you need to be lying when you have no idea what to do. You can always ask for help, but you need to always have an answer, even if it is, you know what, I appreciate you asking this, I'm actually confused a little bit on this. I think we need to spend 5 minutes to figure this problem out. You got to be up front, but you need to be able to have answers because people are always going to be asking. They're going to keep on coming and they won't stop coming until you've had an answer, because people need to know things when you're working on set, because the director is leading people towards a certain direction for the film. But it doesn't mean you have to give an answer that you think is bad. You can just be honest with people and say, I don't know this. Give me 5 minutes, I'm going to figure it out and I'll have an answer for you. But just be up front and be able to answer people. Don't just walk away from them. Give them an answer.
Sure. No, because I already have the duct tape on.
Yeah, you're right here, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, both slide over just a little bit to your left.
Her left.
Your left, sorry.
You moved, yeah.
This way.
Follow his left.
Okay, okay.
Yep, that works. Okay, and action.
Get calm.
Here's something that's really helpful, I think. Prioritize your shots. And what I mean by this is when we were shooting Project Volare, I knew we had a certain amount of hours to film this because of, one, we have a certain amount of lights. We don't have a full lighting crew, so if it gets dark, I can't shoot the outdoor scenes. I literally just cannot. And so I prioritize those shots and saying, okay, we're getting these outdoor scenes with the car right now. This is what I have to do. But then I also think of categorize them into easy to hard. And what I mean by that is, it's pretty simple, but if there's a very, very hard shot that you think, you know what, this scene could be very problematic and I'm not sure if I can pull it off, or you think you can pull it off, but you know it'll just take a lot of time. I sometimes go for that shot first because I want to make sure I can get it. And if I run into problems, that's going to also reflect a lot of other shots too as well. So again, I prioritize by how hard the shot is and what do I need to get first, based on lighting, actors, if they gotta leave, or whatever it is. Because again, when you have low budget, you have people working for free. How long are they able to stay there? You gotta know all these different things. So I just kind of categorize those and I go, you know what? This person here is for the next 2 hours. I'm not gonna save his to the last minute. He's only got 2 hours. I'm gonna shoot his. But I'm gonna try to figure out and put these puzzle pieces together so that I can shoot everything I need in the right amount of time, in the right order that allows me the best creativeness, personally, so that I can get the best shots and I can create the best film. But then I also want to make sure I'm just responsible in my time and I'm responsible for who's helping me. So I'm trying to keep people involved at all times, trying to just keep the team together, but also thinking, okay, I do need about 30 minutes for this shot because the other one is much easier, but this one's going to take a little bit longer, so let's make sure we do this one first, or I figure it out ahead of time. When I want to work on stuff, I'm really trying to keep everyone working together in a happy environment. They're having fun. They're seeing that people are producing results. People are going to be able to chip in with their creative thoughts, but there's also a cohesive direction. The only way to do that, I think, is also to trust and depend on your team. So sometimes it can be hard to find a team like that, but the more you get to know them, the more you value, you just get to know people and value the friendships, and you let people work together in a good environment, you're going to have a really cool film, and the crew's going to be happy to be able to work on it.